Hey everybody, Mrs. Bianchi here. We're taking a look at a very complex assignment called Match the Polygon with the Expression. So the directions say, simplify each expression below. It is recommended that you write down the simplified equivalent before you proceed. Find the area of each polygon, and you're going to figure out which polygon has an area that matches the simplified expression, basically is what we're doing. So let's take a look at some of the more complicated examples. So let's do E and let's do H together so that you can see how to simplify it, and then hopefully on your own you'll be able to do the remaining ones. So let's look at E first. E shows 3 times 3 in parentheses plus a half times 5 times 2 plus a half times 3 times 2. Now, some of you will be able to just look at the expression and realize that it might be the shape decomposed, and you might be able to figure out, like this might be the base of a triangle, for example. But if you're not good at that kind of thing, which maybe you're not because we're new at this, then my recommendation is to just go ahead and simplify each expression. So if we look at E as an example, we know 3 times 3 is 9. Let's use a different color there. Move that out of the way. Let's try to use blue. And if we simplify this, we can do 5 times 2 in our head, which is 10, and half of 10 would be 5. And we can do 3 times 2 in our head, which is 6, and half of 6 would be 3. So when we simplify this, we just really need to add 9 plus 5 plus 3, and we get 17. So I'm just going to put this equals 17 next to it. Let's look at H. Let me move this up. All right, so same thing applies here. You may recognize this as maybe being the dimensions of a triangle, and maybe you recognize this as being the dimensions of a rectangle and then another triangle. But if you're not skilled with that, then let's proceed with simplifying it. So here, if we do half of 1 times 5 is 5, and half of 5 would be 2 and 5/10. 3 times 5 would be 15. And if we do 2 times 5 first, just because it's compatible, and take half of that, that would be 5. This plus this adds up to be 20, and if we add 20 plus the 2.5, then that's going to equal 22 and 5/10. All right, so let's put that over here. All right, so you're going to do the rest, but let's take a look at some of the polygons. Let's look at, let me erase my work from before. Let's look at the one for number 1. Now, a recommended way to decompose this is, if it were me, I'd break this up into 2 separate triangles. And oops, I didn't really draw that very well. And they do appear to be equivalent. They're mirror images of each other. So if we calculate what the base is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the base. So recall that the formula for area of a triangle is half of the base times the height. Oops, that's a multiplication sign. And if we substitute the numbers into the formula, we're saying that the base, and just in case you didn't see where that came from, let me show you again. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember, the height has to be perpendicular to whatever you're calling the base. So let's use yellow here, and let's count all the way to the top. 1, 2, 3. The height on that is 3. All right, so if we take half of 6, which would be 3, and then do that times 3, that would give us the 9. So this times this is 3, and 3 times 3 gives us 9 for one of the triangles. But remember, we have 2 of them. So if this is 9, this would be 9 as well, because we might call this the base and this the height, and the base would still be 6, and the height on that would still be 3. If we add these 2 things together, the red one and the blue one, then we get a total area of 18 square units. Now what we would want to find is we'd want to find which of the expressions from the assignment, we'd want to find which one of these actually equals 18. Now I just want to give you a heads up. There are actually 2 expressions here that will equal 18. So if you choose either one of them, and I'm not going to tell you which ones they are, but either one of them will give you the correct answer. However, I do think you should look to see which ones might actually kind of that give you the same numbers that we've been talking about, and that's the one I'd prefer you to pick. but you'll get credit regardless of which one you pick that's equal to 18. All right, let's look at another example. Maybe we should do one that's a little bit harder. How about, let's talk about this one. All right, because this one you could decompose in a lot of different ways. You could subtract out the whole as one approach. So if we do it that way, we could find the area and pretend that we have the entire green rectangle and figure out what the dimensions are. So going this way, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going that way. And going this way, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going that way. So if we had the entire thing, it would be 36 square units. But we have what I often call a cutout. This is not this part right here. Let's see if I can use a different color here, blue. This is not part of it. We're going to subtract the area of that out of it. So keep in mind, to get this 36, we just did 6 times 6. And we're going to subtract out of that the area of this blue rectangle, which is a 2 by 3. And if we do 2 times 3, that's going to be equal to 6. And if we do 30 minus 6, that'll give us 30. Now, if we go back and look at some of the expressions, doesn't this look familiar? Isn't that what, let's just look back. Isn't that what we just did? We found the area of the outside figure, we found the area of the cutout, and we subtracted them out. That looks a lot like what we're looking at for choice A, doesn't it? So use those kinds of strategies whenever you can to help you narrow down which letter matches which polygon. All right, so just to make sure we understand what you're doing here, for each one, you want to go back to this, have the simplified version written down on a separate sheet of paper. I would recommend writing all the letters down through A through I, and next to it on your sheet of loose leaf paper, write down what these equal, show all your work because your teacher's going to want you to turn that in, especially if it's me. And then when you find the letter that has the same area as each polygon, then you're going to be picking that. Now, these choices are the same for each one, so there's going to be a lot of scrolling up and down or looking at your sheet of paper to see which one. I think I put it in there, that lineup. If I didn't, I might do that. I might put it in there a couple times. You don't have to scroll all the way up to the top. So if you see, after number 7, I might plop it in there just so you don't have to scroll all the way. That might be a good idea. All right, so good luck finishing this up. I do realize it's a difficult assignment. Just do the very best you can.